argument, Mr. Chairman, I want to draw the attention of the majority leader to the fact that there are some private investors who has asphalt plants in this state, and I can name one along Ikere. He's a contractor, but it's not every time that but he's always having an asphalt plant. So this law now has said, I understand where it's coming from. He's saying that since all the investors, almost all of them are contractors, that they will set up their own asphalt plant. Yes, but the law is clear. You must purchase from the government. Even if you are going to set up your own, you must purchase 70% from the state before you can do your own. So, and I think it is and I think that is clear enough. So we can just make it any contractor must purchase from percentage of the asphalt from the state. I think
that is clear enough. I'm coming to you, but I believe that is clear enough. And I must say, leader, that we should not be too legalistic about this. There must be a little bit of flexibility in it. While you are trying to protect government interest, what of tomorrow? Government decide to privatize what you are even trying to protect to private investors. Is it not possible that tomorrow government, that same plant that you are trying to protect, government can decide to privatize it? Ikogosi today is no longer a government-owned property. But if we had made a law to protect it and state-owned tourist center, and today now it's now a private investor that is operating it. See, let us, yes, private, and more so, I have even said the government does not have anything doing in running of business. That is my own view. Enabling environment is what government needs to create an enabling environment for private investors to invest. Yes, Honorable, I'll come back to you. Femi Fatula.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Femi Fatula. I represent the Kole Constituency 1. Mr. Speaker, still on that section, subsection 3, even when we are advancing that contractors should purchase 70%, we have still given them a latitude not to even purchase anything here by saying that the state-owned asphalt plant subject to availability of standard quality of the asphalt required by such contractor. That is a latitude to tell the contractor, don't even buy.
Honorable Femi,
not to complain on that.
We must allow that to stay. Subject to availability of quality is important. We cannot say because we want a contractor to purchase and we are now, because by law, we now allow them, when they know it's of standard, to go and get it. We have to allow that. You know, even this local content, we like I said, we cannot be too legalistic about some of this. It's just like saying they must source for artisans in Ekiti State. And that is when you have available skills. If you don't have the available skills, what happens? And that is why it has to be made subject to certain conditions too. Let me tell us, there are things that I may not also source. We don't need to, some of us know, there are things that you won't allow. And if you cannot allow it as private individual, then why do you want it to be done for government? You need people of skills, for example, and they must be competent. It is not those bricklayers that behave like mechanics. There are some tailor, what do you call them? The fashion designers. You will think they are carpenters. And I know what I'm talking about. By the time they, it's as if they nail your clothes. You understand? So we have to also, while we are protecting, we must also protect the job to be delivered. Quality, we cannot sacrifice quality for anything. Of no reason must we sacrifice quality materials. So the only thing is, we can now allow local content board. Don't forget we have an agency, local content, who will satisfy. We can use that, this law, to also certify that this is of low standard, this is of quality standard. I think we can settle that one, your fear, through the agency. I think that's better. Thank you. Yes.
Chairman, I want to support the majority leader.
I know you now. You will support him.
The fear of the majority leader, Mr. Speaker, is a guru in construction. And then I want to tell you that he's afraid of leaving our own asphalt plant redundant, and why we have spent so much on that plant, we expect dividend, because this is a movable equipment, Mr. Speaker. If a contractor may be coming, and because they have a lot of they need more of this asphalt, they can bring their own and be using it for their own for their work. I think, Mr. Speaker, we should involve, through the law, we should advocate for the ministry and the board you are talking about. They can be during tender or during implementation of a contract, they can meet the contractor to let me say, they can patronize the contractors. We can publicize our asphalt plant, because it's afraid of that place being moribund.
Thank you very much.
So that is why it's agitating for that. But as much as we are doing that, I also understand that you don't want us to narrow those things to legal this thing, so that we also are not going to shoot ourselves at the leg at long run. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you very much. Why you are still saying that? Why I'm agreeing partially, you must also don't forget there are so many road projects. Do you even have the capacity, the asphalt plant? To me, even 70% is much. Because already you have 30% that whatever they are doing, they can produce their own 30%, purchase 70%. That is exactly what this means. We can't rule out that these contractors cannot produce the 30%. The 30% has to be sourced somewhere. Is that not what we are saying? That means the 30%, they can even produce it themselves, while they are buying 70%. The question we should also ask, does our asphalt plant has capacity to accommodate even the 70% we are still giving them? Even in one area we should also look at, do we even have that capacity? Is 70% not too much? Why not 60% of the asphalt? Why they can produce the remaining 40%? If you made it by law and it is not available, because production, you should also have, because if we are making this proposal, have we visited the asphalt plant to know their production capacity? We cannot just continue to make laws that will be difficult to implement. What is the production capacity? Leader of the House, what is the production capacity of the state-owned asphalt plant first? Have you been there?
Yes, sir.
What is the production capacity?
The asphalt plant produces between 100 to 150 tons, and that's
per
why
day.
I said, yes, sir.
Per
and
day.
That's why I say yes. The need locally, the local need is more than even what we are talking about. The required quantity of asphalt in the state cannot be singularly handled by the state-owned asphalt plants.
Okay.
So there is room for competitors. What we are just trying to do is to protect our investment in the.
So instead of making it 70, why not 60?
60 is also fair.
I think 60 is fair. Now, there are views. Okay, minority leader. I don't want to be accused of muscling the voice of the minority. Even though majority will have their way, minority will have their say. But in this case, I know you are with the majority.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am Oladele Ogushaki. I represent the good people of Ekiti East Constituency 1. I would like to add one point to what you just raised on the issue of percentage. Instead of 70%, I wanted to even suggest 50%, so that we can make it equitable for everyone. And the issue of state-owned asphalt, I also want to suggest indigenous-owned asphalt, so that it can be more inclusive and it will encourage investors in the future to come into asphalt making, and that will be more competitive at the long run, and it will also lower the prices and make it available a product for the construction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Right, Honorable Akim Jamiu, if I may ask you, what is your view of indigenous-owned asphalt plants?
I think we should be careful about the use of words here. If we say indigenous-owned asphalt, it means that, because I have now reflected on what the majority leader said, that since the same contractors are also the operators of asphalt plants, they can change their name. Somebody can be a contractor and he can make his asphalt B. So if you say indigenous, he will still buy from himself. It's better for us to state it clearly, state-owned asphalt. 50% of state-owned asphalt, then they can now do the 50%. If you say indigenous, since it's the same contractors that are still operating the asphalt plant, so they will still buy from themselves. So the state owned that we are trying to protect may not be protected after all. So I will not like the word indigenous. If we say indigenous, it is two blankets. So let's say state owned if we want to protect our asphalt plant. That's my view.
Changing from the initial submission.
Yes.
Because that is the position now.
No, yes, I've reflected on what he said. Because I didn't understand what he was saying. But when I reflected that, like the man I said along Ikere, he is a contractor. If you now say that we must chase from indigenous contractors, it's also the indigenous, we purchase from himself. But let's say
But sir, don't forget that it is also in law that raw materials must be sourced unless it is not available within the state.
Yes, it will be sourced, but it's not only raw material that makes up asphalt.
Yeah, I know.
The end product is asphalt. And if you don't protect the state-owned asphalt company, the contractors will continue to position themselves as long as it is local, as long as it's indigenous.
On that note, I will put the question, and the IS will have it. There is opinion that we should leave it as state-owned asphalt. There is another opinion that just says from the state. So I will put the question, but please listen to the question so that you don't just say, at the end of the day, I will have said they. Listen to it carefully. But two issues. There is other opinion on the 70%, 60%, 50%. But I will take between 60, 70. I mean, do we make it 60-40? Before I put the question. But we've all agreed that we should reduce from 70. So that one is clear. So we will. Honorable Yomi, I want to hear you.
Before we vote, sir, I want to be very clear as to why it is necessary to seek this protection for a government-owned enterprise. If, as a businessman, if they can deliver quality product at a competitive rate, why do they need to be protected by our law before anybody will go and buy? Capital has no conscience. It goes to where it is well appreciated. Why? I want to be convinced as to why you have to restrict anybody to go and buy a particular percentage from any state-owned. I'm in Ekiti to run business to make roads. If I can get my asphalt cheaper at Ekiti state-owned, I don't need law to tailor me to that place. The sponsors of the bill, why do we need this? And
if I have not called you, don't hold your mic again. Please, Honorable Yomi, on your mic. You have the floor.
If the state-owned enterprise became privatized, are we coming back to change our laws?
Yes, your observation. No, I am the one directing. A question to him might be answered by you, sir.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Laws are made when they are necessary, and when we are in need, we make laws.
So you
and
are
this
saying
same
that
law can be
hold
repealed
on,
or be amended anytime.
Don't sweat too much. You are saying that the society is dynamic, it's not
Yes.
static.
Yes.
So if tomorrow we see reason, we can change again.
We change the law.
We can turn from black to blue again.
Yes, and
please.
We should not allow semantic to affect the law, because
Yeah.
what the law is really targeting is that the capital flight. If you are talking about equipment now, as per plan, what are we now saying? If they should go outside and be looking for competition and be bringing artisans from other states, we have artisans who can compete with other states, but other states also have quality artisans. So if we want to protect our own, that is the objective of the law. So we should not allow, we should be strict, and we should even value our own. The as plan is there. We have been there. The committee of works of Ekiti House of Assembly have been there. The equipment is there, ready for anything. In fact, it can compete with anywhere in the world. So let's allow the contractor to tell us that they are not giving them what they need from them. We are capable of supplying, the asphalt plant is capable of supplying any quantity of asphalt they need in Ekiti State. And Mr. Speaker, by that we'll be able
You said observation. What are you observing now?
we'll be able to monitor.
You said observation. You observe, and it has turned to a debate.
Observe what the deputy majority leader
You
has just said.
You observe and sit now. Honorable Topelonge.
Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, Mr. Chairman, first and foremost, my name is Lunget Ademola once again. I represent the good people of Oye Constituency 1, Mr. Speaker. Before I continue, Mr. Speaker, let me first and foremost commend the sponsors of this bill, including the majority leader, though not limited to him. But Mr. Speaker, I want to differ from from the submissions of the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Oluwayomi Ayorinde. I think it is very important. One of the core mandates that I think the local content bill meant to move is that contractors here be mandated to source men, materials, and even machine locally.
Yeah.
So I want to differ from Honorable Ayorinde that we do not need to protect our own government-owned asphalt plant. No, we must protect our government-owned asphalt plant. We have been there. We have seen the capacity of the men there. We have seen the quality of materials. We have also tested the quality of production there. So I think it's very important for us to ensure that we protect the facility of government, to mandate the contractors to ensure that they patronize as a matter of must. They must be mandated, they must be obligated to patronize our local asphalt plants here. And let me also say this, thank you. Let me also say this to you, Mr. Speaker. We have to be emphatic that a certain percentage, which we will still deliberate upon, must be sourced locally, because you see, most of these contractors, let me say without fear of equivocation, most of them knows how to cut corners. Even when they know that the materials and the asphalt they are getting from the state is of high quality, they will still deliberately want to go and source the material somewhere else, maybe in an attempt to cut corners, maybe in an attempt to reduce quality. But Mr. Speaker, I think it is very important for us to mandate them to purchase and procure from our own state asphalt plant a certain percentage of the asphalt they will be using in this state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I will not call you again, don't worry. I will not call you again. If you can go and lobby, you are free to lobby other members. Please, when he's coming to you, you understand. If he's lobbying you, yes, Honorable, and I'm winding down on this. You have not spoken on it. You are the last. The two of you will be the. No, you have spoken, sir. Only Omotayo. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want us to also understand something. Yes, we need to protect state-owned establishments. But at the same time, any business that is set up in Ekiti State too, we also have the responsibility to also protect the business, because the way we are looking at it, we are looking at those businesses as if they are not operating within the state. They are operating within the state. So we also need to protect them. At this juncture, I will just, my own suggestion is going to be we should meet at a particular point. And even we are still going to, I'm still going to suggest that while we are talking about percentage that should be taken for, that should be purchased from the government, the remaining percentage should also, we should also define it that they should purchase it from local based companies, because that is not stated here. Because when they cannot find standard quality, they can go outside the state. That is the implication of this provision. So we should also define it that even if they cannot find that quality from the state government, they should also, they can still look within the local to also get it before they can go outside. So my own suggestion at this juncture is that we can do 50% for the state government owned, while we also do 50% for local industries that are operating asphalt plants in the state. So if they cannot get from these people, that is when they can now go outside to go and get asphalt plants. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, okay, Omotayo, you are the last person on this, and we put it, we'll just vote. I don't have time again on this.
All right, the chairman, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Babatunde Omotayo. I represent the good people of Iseorun constituency. Mr. Speaker, I want to join my voice on this, and I want to say something about the percentage. I think for us, I believe the 70% is very good one, but at least, you know, it can able to support the local industry. But I will advise that we can start from 50% so that the contractor can adapt by later on we can change it to 70%. I think that will help us a lot, because if the load is too much on contractor to purchase the 70%, I think it won't work. We can start from 50% first. After 50%, then we can now review it and change it to 70%, so that it will allow the contractor to adapt by the law. Thank you very much. And also, I want to chip in one thing. In order for the contractors to ensure effective of this law, we should also maybe we should add it that they should have a capacity building program for the contractors and the local suppliers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where is the leader of the? You are still lobbying around. You are lobbying. Come, you better lobby me very well. Well, the leader of the house failed to convince me, so I put it to question. He could not convince me properly. And the question is, one, if you are in support that the minimum purchase from, I will take that later, but I will just take the minimum purchase, should be 60%. Say aye. If I again say nay, the ayes have it. Also, if you are in support that, please listen, that the asphalt purchase must be from the state-owned asphalt plant. Say aye. If I again say nay, they have it. So the law will now read. The law will read. No, let me read it first. After this gavel has landed. Okay, let me hear you.
Mr. Chairman, what I'm trying to say is that the 60% for state-owned is settled. Now the 40%, I don't want us to leave it open. I'm proposing that this particular section 3 should have Roman figure 1. That one should define the 60% for the state-owned government. Then that Roman figure 2 should be a minimum of the 40% should be sourced locally. Because if we don't put it that way, they can go outside to get it. Because what we are trying to do is to grow our economy. So if investor is still coming to also sell 40%, the person may still be encouraged to do that. So we should also protect investors that are coming to do this particular kind of business. So the Roman figure 2 will now be a minimum of 40%. So if they are buying 60% from state-owned, they should be buying 40% from local industries that is within the state. So it will now be subject, after that will now be subject to availability of standard. That is when you can now leave it open. But we should also define the percentage that they
Thank
can
you
get.
very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All roads contractors engaged by the state purchase a minimum of 60% required for their contract from the state-owned asphalt plant, subject to availability of standard quality of the asphalt required by such contractors. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. 3-1. The remainder, that is, or we'll put it as 40% so that it's unambiguous. The 40% shall be sourced from the local factories operating in the state. Roman figure 1 to 3. The remaining 40%, so that covers for them to also
Why it cannot work, right, Honorable Sir? Like I was saying the other time,
it cannot work.
Yeah, why the 40% locally cannot work?
Yeah.
It means that they cannot go outside to buy.
But you told us that they will produce it themselves now.
Yes, but despite the quantity of what we have available,
They can go out subject to availability. Simple. Oh, down.
This is one. One will define the state-owned, the minimum of 50%. 60 for the state-owned. Then the Roman figure 2 will now define that the remaining 40% for the local factories. Now the subject will not be after it. So to get it from these two is subject to availability of standard
So Roman figure, that is section 2, section 27, subsection 3.1 reads, all roads contractors engaged by the state shall purchase a minimum of 60% asphalt required for their contract from the state-owned asphalt plant, subject to availability of standard quality of the asphalt required by such contractor. While subsection 27.3.2 will now read that a minimum of 40% shall be sourced from the local asphalt plant subject to availability. Thank you. If you are supposed to say aye, if you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Now, and I must appreciate you for that wonderful debate on just one section of the law. So if we are here till 7 p.m., no wahala. Thank you very much. Now, section 27(4). Local content clause shall be included in all letters and or contract of awards. If you are in support, say aye. If you are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Under offenses and penalty, which is another area we are considering, under section 21 of the principal law, outrightly we want to delete it, and let's look at section 21 of the principal law. Section 21 states that time a new proviso is hereby inserted to the principal law as section 20J. Yes. The board of any committees designated shall, in collaboration with the State Public Procurement Minister of Works. No. Section 21 of the principal law. Any contractor or subcontractor who carries out any project contrary to the provision of this law commit an offense, and as a first-time offender shall be liable to a fine 20% in the principal law, but this time we are now saying shall be liable to a fine as stipulated in Annex 4 and 5, Part B of the third schedule. So we are going to look at those annexure now. It is now well categorized, unlike before. It was an open-ended thing. So you now have categories of offenses under this law as proposed by this bill. So we now have, when you look at Annex 4 and 5 of Part B of the third schedule, so all you need is to go and look at the schedule attached to the proposal. And under this, we have Annex 4 and 5 means 500,000 naira. Annex 5, 500,000 naira. That is any contractor or subcontractor who carries out any project contrary to the provision of this law commit an offense, and as a first-time offender shall be liable to a fine stipulated in Annex 4, which is 500,000 naira fine. I think that is okay. Better than what we have before. If you are in support, say aye. Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. 2. A contractor shall be liable to a penalty of 1 million naira as a second-time offender. Those in support, say aye. Your observation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I must confirm whether you have a company, even though you are no longer the director of that company, but that is operating in the state, because you are so much interested in this matter. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This law is very, very important to us in Ekiti State. Yes, I just want to call your attention to the word second offender. If we define first-time offender, second-time offender, what happened to third-time offender? So we should remove the second-time offender. So,
okay, any subsequent?
Yes, it can be a contractor who is not a first-time offender shall be.
All right.
Yes.
I agree with you on that.
Third, fourth, yes.
So remove second-time offender. Instead of people say any subsequent violation shall attract the sum of 1 million naira. That settles it. So if you continue, as you are continuing, you are paying 1 million. So no second timer. First timer, that's okay. But first timer, that's okay. But any subsequent I think that's okay. If you're in support, say aye. If you're against, say nay. The ayes have it. Now, under the schedule, we now insert a schedule. The principal law is hereby amended by inserting 4 schedules as hereby set out and attached. Go and look at the schedules. First schedule, second schedule, and the third schedule, and the fourth schedule. They are all hereby attached. And under the schedules, you have a certificate, which registration certificate fee for various categories. That is schedule 1. So that if you need authorization certificate, you pay a sum. If the value of your project is below 1 million, it is going to go for free. If it is between 1 million to 3 million naira, you will still get your authorization certificate, compliance certificate, exception letter for free. But when your project is between 5 million to 10 million naira, authorization certificate will be 5,000 naira, compliance certificate will be 10,000 naira, and exception letter will be 50,000 naira. I think these are very objective. And if you are getting a contract sum of 10 million to 50 million naira, you will get authorization certificate of 10,000 naira, compliance certificate of 50,000 naira, exception letter of 100,000 naira, which is also not bad. And if your contract is between 50 million to 100 million naira, authorization certificate will be 15,000 naira, compliance will be 70,000 naira, and exception letter will be 120,000 naira. I think that is still not bad. A contract sum of 50 million to 100 million. And if your contract sum is 100 million to 500 million naira, authorization certificate will be 20,000. Compliance, certificate of compliance is that you are sourcing your resources from within. You have sourced your artisans based on the percentage as stated in the law, and you only pay sum of 100,000 naira. And Honorable Demola Ojo has said also a source of IGR to the state. So we are not bothering those who are getting a contract of 1 million to 3 million. You only start paying if your contract sum is 5 billion naira upward. So I think that is good. And if you are getting 500 million to 1 billion, so authorization certificate 20,000, compliance certificate 100,000, exception letter 100,000, and 170. Sorry, 1 billion to 5 billion, 65,000 naira for authorization certificate, 150,000 naira for compliance certificate, 200,000 naira for exception letter, etc., etc. I think that is okay. Non-compliance to local law in contract, procurement of material and services in accordance with section 2A, subsection 1 and 2 of the principal law is if there is lack of compliance, if your contract value is 1 million naira, fine, that should be fine. If it is just 5,000 naira, it should be there. And if it's 1 million to 5 million, 10,000 naira is fine. But do we encourage? Is this encouraging? I would rather violate and pay this. This is too small. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, the observation is that for contracts of 1 million, about 5 million below, the nature of those contracts usually does not attract. Usually does not attract the possibility of having these our laws enforced. So that's why it's free.
Okay. All right, I agree with you on that. That's okay. So let's second schedule to remain as it is. And the third schedule, failure to register a contract as a contractor with Bureau before contract bidding, process, award, and execution, giving false information, document, address, falsification of results, and falsification of results, certificate, tax clearance, and other relevant legal documents, forging of the Bureau legal documents, such as authorization certificate, compliance certificate, and expressional letters, non-inclusion of 40% of local workforce in project contracts, execution, non-patronage of 40% locally sourced goods, materials, tools, and equipment in project. I think, okay, I've seen it. Failure to secure exception letter to import goods, material, and services outside the state for contract execution, any form of physical attacks, harassment on any or enforcement team, Annexus 8, look at that work, will be 60%, and the 40% will be included now, as amended earlier. Non-procurement of minimum of 60% asphalt required from the state-owned asphalt, and 40% from local company, in accordance with section 27(3), 1 and 2 of the principal law second amendment 2025. So please take note of that. Part B, classification of offenses, as stated earlier. So part 4 schedule, approve revenue codes for revenue generation by Bureau of Local Content, as stated earlier. Thank you. So, unless there is any observation before the final gavel. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, third schedule, that's Annexure 1, failure to register as a contractor with the Bureau before the contract bidding process, award, and execution. The penalty attached to it, the fine, is 2.5% of contract sum. Failure to register, and you apply, you execute the contract. I think the fine should be more than 2.5 of the contract sum, because that's a clear violation.
Quickly work out 2.5% of 1.5 billion.
Because it's not that maybe when you call the contractor, we just bring it 2.5. You will still go through legal process before you acquire that money. So the state will be subjected to, because how will you even get a contract without even registering in the first place?
No. This
7.5 million.
That's 7.5 million.
37.5 million.
That is just 2.5% of 1.5 billion. 37 million naira. And more so, the failure here to register with the Bureau of Local Content. Not, you know, there are so many registrations, and that's why we have to be careful that they have registration done even with BPP, Bureau of Public Procurement. There is no way you can even get contract without, first of all, registering with Bureau of Public Procurement. Don't forget that. But just to ensure that they meet the requirements as stated in this law, that is why you have to register with the Bureau of Local Content. You understand? So we have to be, I think 2.5% is not too much. Let's leave it at that. Or if you are supposed to say hi, that we should leave it at 2.5%, say hi. Those against say nay, they are outside it. You are ruled out. Thank you. Yes, we have come to the end of the committee of the whole house, and we are going to report back to plenary. Thank you very much. And I must appreciate you for this wonderful debate on this particular bill. It's been a very productive one. I enjoy every bit of it, all your contributions. Thank you. God bless. Can you move that we dissolve back to plenary?
Right Honorable Mr. Chairman,
My dear colleagues,
having exhausted our discussion at the committee of the whole, and I want to move the motion that we revert back to plenary. I so move.
Honorable Ademola Ojo.
Right Honorable Speaker, dear colleagues, I second the motion assumed by the majority leader that we should come back to plenary.
To dissolve back to plenary.
Thank you.
If you are in
Mr.
support
Speaker.
that this House dissolve back to plenary, say aye. If you are against, say nay. You know, Honorable Ademola Ojo had already traveled, so he has to come back. Thank you very much. Welcome. And welcome back, everyone. Now, Tunde, okay, you better go back to your seat now. Okay, I call on Honorable Adegbite to quickly report. Yes, report our activities at the committee of the whole House. You are welcome back.
Right Honorable Speaker, my name is Ayodeji Adegbite, representing Ado Constituency 1. From the report of the Committee of the whole House on the Local Content Amendment Bill, the whole House voted that the percentage of the state-owned asphalt plants should be reduced from 70% to 60% by the state-owned, and then 40% to the indigenous companies in Ekiti State. Also, that's go to me.
Need to confirm if that is correct.
Thank you.
Speaker, I'm Right Honorable Hakim Jame. I represent Group of Plenary Constituency 2. Yes, what Honorable Ayodeji Adegbite said about the report about the report done when the House dissolved into committee of the whole House is very, very correct.
Okay, those in favor that is the true reflection of what transpired at the committee of the whole House, say aye. Those against, say nay. Well, the House have it. May I use this medium to appreciate our pupils from Boesi Staff School. I have on that list Adeoye Adeshewa, Ojo Shemilore, Agbabiaka Praise, Olanipekun Favor, Olatunji Praise, Amos Spencer, Olanipekun Miracle, Femi Ojamo Daniel, Daramola Tofumi, Adegboye Adedamola, Dele Ojo Olajuwon, Ashana Paul, Ajiro Israel, Falebita Omouyi. And I have Daramola from Pupi of Primary 4, Adedamola, Ajayi Oluwa Fisolabi, Ayodele Olamide, Aderiye Samuel, Adeni Desire, Omolola Isaac, Oyeni Tosin, Adewole Joy, Kolawole Damilola, Adeyino Boluwatife. Pupil from Primary 3 I have Adewole Gold, Ojo Esther. And those are the pupils from Boise. Let's appreciate them. You are welcome. And they are led by their head teacher, and that is Mrs. Idowu Olubumi. And also in their team is Adegoke Adewole, Adeyeye Okpeyemi, Akinola Tolulope, Adedipe Temitope, and Mr. Alao Gbega. You are all welcome. And I know you've had a wonderful experience today. If you are How many of you are just witnessing and sitting for the first time? Let me see your hand. You are witnessing it for the first time. Today is the first time you are witnessing it. How has it been to you? How has it been to you? Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, children. So your names were actually mentioned at the plenary of the Ekiti State House of Assembly. I believe you are very happy to hear your name. Thank you. Now, without wasting time, the report has been confirmed by Right Honorable Akim Jamiu after Honorable Ayodegbite gave the full report. It's on that note that I call on Clerk of the House to take the third reading of this bill, having been satisfied by all members.
Dynamic speaking speaker, 7th Assembly parliamentarians, the Ekiti State Local Content Second Amendment Bill 2025, second adopted day, third reading. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Having read the bill, Ekiti State Local Content Second Amendment Bill 2025, the third time, I can say the bill has now been passed into law, waiting for the assent of Mr. Governor. Thank you very much. Yes. Let me ask, sir. I know you have, when you are here, you expended so much energy, and we wouldn't want to further dissipate that energy too much. I don't know if you can still carry on with us, or you still want to witness more. All right. Yes, leader of the house.
Mr. Capacity.
Debate on Nanet, step down. Debate on Boesti, step down. Report alone to be read. Let's leave the rest to our next another date.
Thanks, Honorable Speaker. The next item being the report of the ad hoc committee to set up to investigate the maltreatment of the regents in Ekole is to be done by the chairman of the ad hoc committee, and that's the person of Right Honorable Akim Jamiu. You may now direct him to present his report, sir.
Right Honorable Speaker, let me go straight to, I'm Right Honorable Akim Jamiu. I'm the chairman of the ad hoc committee set up by this house to investigate the alleged maltreatment of serving regents in the Ekole local government.
Will I be right to say you are the chairman of Regent Matters Arising?
As his speakership pleases.
Please, kindly give your report.
Let me just go straight to our findings to save our time.
No, please take preamble, sir.
Then preamble,
you can leave methodology.
Okay, preamble. Right Honorable Speaker and distinguished honorable members, you will recall petition was presented to this house alleging maltreatment of regents by the Traditional Council of Ekole local government. The petitioners claimed the following: that the regents got half of their entitled vehicle maintenance allowance, which the committee later learned through the ministries of chieftaincy and local government that there was a welfare package from government to us. Whereas regents in other local government payments as directed to a document prepared by the Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs. It further alleged that they were being placed on half salary, while regents in other local government received full salary and additional benefits. That the Ekole Traditional Council has stopped the salaries of regents who have spent more than 2 years on the throne, especially the regents of Okeako and Ayebode. Now let me go to our findings. The committee made the following findings: that the committee observed that there are gaps between the Ministry of Local Government Affairs and all the local governments in the state on the dissemination of information. Regent salaries, paying full salaries to regents will result in some of them earning more than ruling kings. Consequently, the kings in Ekole resolved to pay regents half salaries, and in the same token, the regents were paid half of the welfare package fund. Number 3, with the exception of the regent of Ijesha-Ishu, who has been on the throne for just 4 months, 2 other regents from Esun and Ayebode had not written any extension letters to the government. claiming ignorance of the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024. The Regent of Okeako had written to the Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs, and a matter has not been addressed, probably because the ministry is unaware of the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024. Number 4, there appears to be a communication gap between the Ministry of Justice, who has the legal and administrative duty of sensitizing other ministries on recently law passed by the House of Assembly, its purport and applicability to the respective ministries in the discharge of their duties, and in this instant case, the Regency Extension Amendment Law signed into law since May 2024. Number 5, the first leg of the petition of the Regents concerning half payment of vehicle maintenance was the practice met in Ikole local government, and the payment was not for vehicle maintenance as claimed by the petitioners, but a welfare package for Ekiti traditional rulers by Ekiti state government. Recommendations. Based on its findings, the committee recommends the following. 1, the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024 should be disseminated to all regions in Ekiti State through the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs. Number 2, all regions in Ekiti State are to submit extension letters to the government after spending 6 months to request extension of tenure in line with the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024. 3, since the ministries and other stakeholders involved were unaware of the Regency Extension Amendment Law, the committee recommends that the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs rise to the Ministry of Local Government and that of Chieftaincy to probe the reason for lack of awareness of the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024, signed into law by Governor Biodo Ebanji since May 2024, until the Regents wrote a petition to the House in February 2025. Number 4, the Ministry of Justice should sensitize other ministries on recently law passed by the House of Assembly, its purport and applicability to the respective ministries in the discharge of their duties, and in this instance case, the Regency Extension Amendment Law signed into law since May 2024. Number 5, the regents in Ikole local government, like their counterparts in other local governments, were to be paid full allowance and not half. This should be looked into by the Ministry of Local Government, which must do the needful in the interest of justice and fair play. Number 6, the committee strongly recommends that the Regency law be further amended to prevent unnecessary extension of regents or regents' tenures in Ekiti towns, generally by installing kings without unnecessary delays. 7, the regents' tenure allocation is often not the fault of the regents, but due to delay of ruling houses in presenting candidates for the throne, foot dragging by kingmakers, and unending litigation by contenders to the throne. All the above could be mitigated by very careful but effective amendment to the Regency and Chieftaincy laws. 8, the Right Honourable Speaker is advised to task the Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs to work with the Attorney General to come up with an effective amendment to prevent unnecessary elongation of Regency tenure due to delay in installing kings. Conclusion. The investigation conducted by the ad hoc committee into the alleged management of regions in the local government revealed significant administrative and communication gaps between the Ministry of Justice and other ministries, especially the Ministry of Local Government and that of Chieftaincy. There was a lack of awareness among key stakeholders regarding the Regency Extension Amendment Law 2024. The decision by the Traditional Council of Ikole local government to pay regents half salaries, while rooted in the intent to maintain a salary hierarchy between regents and ruling kings, has contributed to the grievances outlined in the petition. Furthermore, the prolonged tenure of some regents, notably the regent of Okeako, who has been on the throne for 25 years, reinforces the urgent need to further amend the Regency and Chieftaincy laws to prevent unnecessary elongation of Regency tenure, and by ensuring that kings are installed without delay. Appreciation. The ad hoc committee wishes to express its profound gratitude to the Right Honourable Speaker and distinguished honourable members of this House for entrusting us with this responsibility. Members, Right Honourable Hakeem Jami, Chairman, Honourable Alhaja Mayam Ogulade, Honourable Barrister Iyabo Okeme, Honourable Ojomati Sademola, Honourable Idowu Odebumi, and Mr. Ajisafe Adelodun, the committee clerk.
Thank you very much. Please, can you proceed to lay the report before the House? Thank you very much. And I think that was a wonderful job done by the committee, and I think we should appreciate them for doing a great job. All members, you are highly recognized. Thank you for doing a great job. Leader of the House, please move the motion for its adoption.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, our very speaking capacity speaker, my dear colleagues, I want to move a motion that the document as laid by the chairman of the ad hoc committee set up to investigate the alleged maltreatment of serving regents in the Korea local government, that this document be adopted and adopted for further use of the House. I so move. As a working document.
Abiodun Fawekun.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I am Babatunde Abiodun Fawekun. I represent Idosi Constituency 1. I rise to second the motion as moved by the majority leader that the report of the ad hoc committee set up to investigate the alleged maltreatment of serving regents in the Korea local government be adopted as a working document of this House. Thank you.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The document has become the working document of this House. Yes. Because of other engagements, the committee of the House will consider the report and its recommendation for resolution. But that will be done at the next allotted date. I can see the leader. You know, leader is a machine. He's just looking at me. That why can't we just do the resolution today? Next allotted date, which is likely to be Thursday this week, we will come up, go and study all of us go and study the report. And one aspect of it that we also want us to look at is, is it law that we can use to mitigate this prolongment of regents? I don't think it will be possible. For example, I'll give you an example, simple. Even though I said we should not go into details, so that you can have, I want us to go and think around it. The Okeako, cited as an example, 25 years. The regent is 25 years. Why? I think that's what we should query. Why? The matter is in court, at the Supreme Court, and has been there for almost maybe 15 to 18 years now. At the Supreme Court, can you install another king when the matter is already before the Supreme Court? Which law are we going to make to prevent such allegation? I just want us to, my submission is not a conclusive one. It's just for us to think around it, so that, and that is why I said we should not finalize the resolution today. So by the time we come next, at the next allotted date, let's think around it. What could be done? Lawyers in the House, thinkers in the House, let's look at it critically. And if a matter is in court, don't forget that even this House, once it's already in the court, you cannot even adjudicate. And the government cannot install a king once there is a court injunction and the matter is at the Supreme Court. But let's look at it. I am not sure if the regent herself will be so happy to stay for that long, 25 years as a regent. Don't let me go into that. I wanted to mention when you have, within that 25 years, do you know how many Olubadan that you have had within 25 years? So let's go back. Please go and study that report. Let's go and study that report and come back. And I know that Right Honorable Akin Jamiu, apologies, even though you are fasting, you are very happy to entertain the regents in the state. You are welcome. So, so please, let's go and look at that. But we will do everything to ensure that our towns and communities get their kings as early as possible. As early as possible. And sir, I can tell you, for Ayebo Day, which is part of a new king has been selected. Though not yet installed, but at least a new king has been selected in Ayebo Day now. But let's see what we can do. Please go and study the report again and think around, particularly some of the things I have raised. So we'll meet at the next allotted date to discuss and take and come up with a resolution, particularly while looking at the recommendations. Thank you very much. Yes, other matters step down already. Or do you want to resuscitate what we have already buried? Why no? Where the elders, our ancestors, are still ready to work with us. Leader of the house, and the student of theirs, they are ready. Leader of the house.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Director Speaker. I think with your advice, I should go back to items 4.
What's your observation?
Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I think the majority leader is trying to usurp the powers of this house. We have not done any reordering of the other paper, and he's trying to go back to what we have left in the other paper.
For observation. What order? Which order?
This point of order.
So if you don't have any order to that effect, then you have nothing. He's the majority leader. Don't forget, it's the chairman rules and business. Don't forget that. It's the chairman rules and business. And is the only one, apart from the speaker, that has the power, when he conducting this business of the day, that can even move motions without notice. Without notice. He can move a motion without notice. Except for matter of privileges that all of you, by privileges you can raise motions on other, by matter of privileges. But as the leader of the house and the chairman rules and business, he can even take motions without your notice. So, leader of the house, you are protected. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well, I'm sorry, I guess my ears were tired. So maybe that's why I thought he asked me to do order 4. But I've gotten the fact that the next item, this is the last item, is item 7. So having exhausted all our
item 7?
Yes.
Which item 7? We don't have, as far as I know, on this order paper, we don't have item 7. 3 items has been set down. So those items are no longer on our list. So yes, do it properly.
Yes, sir. So, Right Honourable Speaker, item 7 actually started earlier in the morning, but the conclusion will be...
I don't know anything about item 7 anymore.
It's set down now. So, our...
It's item 4.
Items 4 now,
yes,
is adjournment. And
because each time I hear item 7, I understand the members, and I don't want to talk about item 7. So, item 4.
Items 4, adjournment. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to move the motion.
Honourable Tokwelegbe, what is your observation?
Right Honourable Speaker, fellow parliamentarians, my name is Longe Temitope Ademola once again. I represent the good people of Oyo Consensus 1, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me, with profound respect, crave your indulgence to, on behalf of Mr. Speaker and the noble members of this 7th Assembly.
Observation. What is your observation?
Mr. Speaker, I want to observe that before you allow the majority leader to adjourn this session,
He cannot adjourn.
To move the motion for adjournment of this session. I want you, Mr. Speaker, to, with profound respect, allow us to say thank you to our leaders.
Honorable Tapalonge, if that's the observation,
yes, sir.
that will be done under motion for adjournment. Under motion for adjournment. Thank you.
Okay, Mr.
Observation well noted, but out of order. Yes, Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I think I would equally like to commend Honorable Tokwe for not letting that to pass him by. And I'm sure we have a capacity speaker who will always capture all these details. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to move the motion, having exhausted all the items of the order for today, that this House adjourns until Tuesday, 18th day of March 2025. And so move.
To Thursday. May I also...
Tuesday.
To...
Tuesday.
He has moved a motion for the House to adjourn till Tuesday. With reasons, I will support that. And I will tell you reason. On Thursday, by the special grace of God, our spouses, the spouses of the 7th Assembly, will again, by our support, in their usual characteristic manner, will be empowering some of our constituents on that Thursday again. Don't forget, this will be the 4th edition. And it has been an empowerment like no other. For example, I am aware that for some selected constituents who has a multiple birth, I am aware that they are going to empower them with grinding machines. And not just that alone, they are ready to also give them some tokens. And they have some of our youth that they felt should further secure skills. Not only that they want to support them, they will get a trainer for them, paid for their, what do you call it again? For their training. They pay for their training and also give them some equipment that will support their training. And after the training again, they will now empower them. But Lord, let me say this. All what they are doing, it is courtesy, members of the 7th Assembly. And this is to allow us focus on our legislative duties, where we allow our women identify the needs and also meet the needs. I must give kudos to all of you. So it is because of that we have to be part of that program on Thursday. So I will support and call on Idowu Odebumi, who has been, I don't know, to second the motion.
Thank you, Capacity Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I still remain my humble self, Honorable Comrade Idowu Odebumi, representing Oye Constituency 2. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion being moved by Majority Leader that this plenary should be adjourned to Tuesday next week. I so second.
On that motion for adjournment, I will invite Honorable Tokwelonge, since he has raised the observation. to appreciate our leaders who have worked in this legislative arm of government as the pioneers. They are pioneers. And I will also call the person who pride himself as baby lawyer. If he's a baby, then he should be able to greet his colleagues, the pupils of Buesti, as since you are baby lawyer, and we have our children babies. So, under ni awo ni mercy awo talk. So you after Honorable Tokwe, I will call on you also, baby lawyer, to greet our children. Yes, Honorable Tokwe Loge.
With profound respect, Mr. Speaker, let me first and foremost commend you in your drive to always appreciate our leaders. I was deeply touched this morning when you announced that our leaders, led by our dear father, Baba Abiodun Akifashai, were upstairs there in the gallery. Mr. Speaker, this is highly commendable, and I want to say a very big thanks for finding time to appreciate these our leaders. They were the first legislative executive management of this assembly, and you find out that in this part of the world, it's not commonplace that leaders like this, leaders that have been selfless, leaders that have been sacrificial, it's not commonplace that they are appreciated. So the moment I saw that, Mr. Speaker, you have given them accommodation to come and observe our plenary here, it is noteworthy, Mr. Speaker. It is touching, Mr. Speaker. It is highly commendable, Mr. Speaker, because these people here, they have served this state meritoriously, and by extension, they have also lifted the name of this assembly up, because all of them seated there, we know them personally, individually and collectively. They are men and women of high integrity. They are men and women of very strong character. They are men and women that we can say we are proud of. And Mr. Speaker, without any fear of equivocation, I want to say, our leaders, I doff my hat for you. I say thank you for the service you have rendered to this state. I say thank you for the service you have rendered to this assembly. I want to particularly say thank you for the support you are still giving to our Mr. Governor in his bid to actualize the shared prosperity mantra. Mr. Speaker, I join my colleagues to say thank you for finding expression that you should invite these people here. This is a deeply touching moment for me, because they have served this state, and you have also deemed it worthy to celebrate them. Baba Akifashai and our leaders here, we celebrate you, and we say, Emiyagun Loruko Jesu. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tokwe, for that beautiful acknowledgement of people who have actually worked. And I say, sirs and man, thank you very much, and thank you for finding time to be here today. Thank you for being part of today's plenary section. And I want to believe that you are happy seeing what is happening at the State House of Assembly. The labor of our heroes past, I think, is no longer in vain. Thank you very much, sirs. Now, please sit down, sirs. Now I call on baby lawyer, Honorable Tunde Babatunde Oke, to appreciate his colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear colleagues, my name is Honorable Babatunde Oke, representing the Career Constituency 1. My colleagues at the gallery, elder children, let me first of all appreciate the teachers for organizing this kind of educative tour for the children. That we impart them for life. I want to appreciate you for this initiative. And for the children, I know it has not been a waste of your time. You are here to witness plenary session of the State House of Assembly. All of us started like you. We are today because we're focused and to be someone in life. That is why we are here today. So my advice to you, be focused and always ask questions. I know so many things may not be clear to you today. But if there is any area you need clarification, you can always ask your teachers. It is not limited to this plenary session alone. Even in classroom, in everything that you do in life, always ask questions, ask for clarification. And always remember that whatever you do today will determine your future. So be focused, always be ready to learn, and I pray you shall be succeed in life in Jesus' name. Let me thank you for also accepting to follow your teachers to come here. It is another thing for them to organize this talk, and it is another thing for you to refuse to follow them. So for you to have also agreed to be here, I want to also thank you. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing them. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, the baby lawyer, and you really appreciate your colleague very, very well. It's been a wonderful one. And since these children are from Ikere, if the baby lawyer has spoken, I think there should be the Ogbomihan to do a fatherly blessing on the children. Yes, just do a fatherly blessing in 2 minutes. Honorable Babatunde Idowu from Ikere, too.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Honorable Tunde Idowu from Ikere.
I always had Omokuni, don't love you, Ogbomihan, what do you call it?
Distinguished colleagues of Ekiti State House of Assembly, I want to appreciate the Right Honorable Speaker and the principal officers and all distinguished colleagues of Ekiti State House of Assembly for allowing the pupils of Buest to attend today's plenary. It has been a wonderful time, and I am aware that over there at the gallery, they are rejoicing, looking at one of the two of us from Ikere representing them, and they are appreciating God for seeing us on seat here. And then I want to also appreciate Almighty God that today they are not here to meet any Ikere constituency seat, both 1 and 2 empty. We appreciate Almighty God for that. And I want to also add to what my colleagues from Ikere has admonished, that you children pray to God. Somebody say you cannot pray your success, but the Bible says no one can receive anything except it's given to the person from above. I want to tell you that every giant stride in life is at the mercy of God. I pray that the Almighty God will be with you. You will succeed in Jesus' name. You are welcome to Ekiti State House of Assembly. We will see you before you go. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. Pupils from Ikere, I appreciate you all. We will meet immediately after plenary session at my office. So also our leaders will meet at the office. Man, at this junction, may we also congratulate our esteemed governor, the governor of Ekiti State, Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, who has been nominated and to receive award of the Vanguard Governor of the Year. This event is slated for this weekend. The award is in appreciation of his efforts in education, health, and he was nominated among all the governors as the best governor in Nigeria. Best Governor Award, and this award will be conferred on him over the weekend, this coming weekend. For all of us at the Ekiti State House of Assembly, we say congratulations to His Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State, Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji. We are happy, but we are partners because Mr. Governor himself knows that without the support of this house, that would not have been possible. But because we enjoy a good working relationship together. We had synergy, and that is why all what we are witnessing in the Ekiti State, we are witnessing it. But we must appreciate our governor for being the one carrying the flag and flying the flag higher and higher. So we wish him all the best, and we pray for more wins for our dear governor. Congratulations, Mr. Governor. Thank you very much. Just a reminder again, on Thursday is 14, am I correct? 13.
Observation.
I'm speaking. On Thursday, 13th day of March 2025, the spouses of the 7th Assembly will be carrying out another empowerment program right at this complex. All members are expected to be there. Don't forget, whatever they are doing is by your support. And we must be there, particularly because of our constituents that are coming to benefit on that day. Thank you. Sorry for the little mix-up. The award for this weekend is the Silver Bed Award. And you know it's a very big one. That of Vanguard is still coming up later. But for this weekend is the Silver Bed Award. And it's a big event that our governor today has also again, remember, he received that of leadership. Again, that of Silver Bed. What a governor. And what a people we are. Ekiti State is now on the limelight, and we are happy for that. Congratulations once again, Mr. Governor. Thank you very much. The 4-year student, Faculty of Law, I recognize you once again. Thank you. God bless you. On that note, I therefore put the question. If you are in support that this House adjourn indefinitely, synodi. If you are in support that the House adjourn synodi, press yes. If you are against, press nay. Well, in simple majority that is required for adjournment. Even if you have 26 and only one person voted yes and nobody voted nay, the yes have it. And on that note, 5 people voted yes, 1 voted nay. No, this is not perfect. Don't worry. Please, can you repeat it again? They said you didn't sign in. Sign in and vote. We take the poll again. And I know those who always vote no. I know them. I hope they are not here this afternoon. The 2 of them, Oye and Ekiti East, they sat together, so they know themselves. Okay, your colleague is not around. The Kere too is not around. Your another Karim, I didn't mention him. Okay, one person voted nay. That's good. Can we know the person? I want to see that person that voted nay. Who is that? Who is on that red? Leader of the house. Honorable Faweku, well done. Well done. Well, minority will have their say, majority will have their way. So the ayes have it. I arise.